You're watching EVH and Gear TV, brought to you by Stewart Travel Guitars. See the incredible stowaway travel guitar at stewartguitars.com. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones. And official Van Halen merchandise is provided by VanHalenStore.com. Here's your host from Ontario, Canada, EVH artist Eric Broadbent.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Whoa, sorry about the pop there. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to EVH and Gear TV. We are live for a short, probably 60-minute, is that short? I'm not sure, but a 60-minute live broadcast. This is part 2 of the Yamaha Pacifica 921 restoration process. As you can see, I'm actually holding it, and it's almost looking like a brand new guitar. We got shine, we got everything everywhere. Got fresh set of NYXL strings, 9-42. The entire fretboard has been cleaned with the, if you haven't seen the video I did the other day, it was with a lizard spit, a fret polishing kit. It's the first time I've ever used it. Never ever done that before, other than just using like toothbrushes and things like that back in the day, cleaning the fretboard. But the grime that came off the frets was absolutely insane. Cleaned the fingerboard up somewhat, did a full polish on it, took the pickguard off, cleaned it up. The only thing I haven't done yet is strictly the components inside. I got to get some switch and contact cleaner and take out some of the... getting better because I'm playing it a lot. You know, just playing a guitar can take away a lot of that scratchiness. It was really bad. You turn on the volume knob just for a second and it was just horrific scratch. But it's coming along really good. So this was a guitar, for those of you who are joining today or just watching this video for the first time today, this was a guitar that I've had back since 1990 or 1991. It was a guitar made from 89 to 90 at the Yamaha Pacifica 921 series. And it was, little did I knew about the luthier of this. It was Rich Lasner, who used to work for Ibanez, and he's gone on to many other companies, but he went to Yamaha for a short bit, and this was going to be the successor of the Gem. So they were thinking, you know, after the Gem, you know, a similar style to like an RG series guitar, a real shred machine, 22 frets, and the cool thing about this is the cutaway on the back. It's called the Total Access Cutaway. There it is right there. Can I get it? Like that. So your reach, there's no limitations, right up to the 22nd fret. You don't have to struggle. And some of my guitars, that's the only thing that's really bothering me, is that reach. You know, I'm trying to get that 22nd fret, and I'm reaching over the body of the guitar a little bit. I like this a lot. I don't tend to even play up to the top of the neck a lot, but I'm definitely in this position a lot, and it's very comfortable for me right there. No reaching whatsoever. And so we've got a few people in the chat. I can't pronounce the first name. I'm sorry. It's in a different language. I'm sorry, but thank you for watching. Poo Ninja is here, and Black Vulture as well. Says nice break from studying for midterms. Bobby Lopez is here as well too. So I'm gonna take you through a little bit of a tour of where I've gone since the last video. So the last video was you were watching me physically clean the guitar and give you a little bit of history on it, and I'm gonna give you an update on that today. Really, the guitar itself is. I recommend these guitars to anybody that you can get their hands on one. You can only get them used now. They're strictly, you know, like on your reverbs and eBay and things like that. I was looking them up the other day because I surely wouldn't mind another one. And there was only 2 or 3 that I saw on eBay, and they were all the black ones. They only come in about 4 or 5 colors. But they're around, I'm not sure if I was looking at Canadian or American. I think it might have been, I want to say it might have been Canadian, and they're around $600. Some are a little higher than that. But they are a shred machine. Now, I made some discoveries with it, or some decisions. So when I had it all taken apart, I was asking some people's opinions. I was saying, should I leave it like a Frankie? Because with the pickguard off, it kind of looked like a really cool Eddie Van Halen kind of Frankenstein-looking guitar. And I was asking the chat, should I leave this Frankie or should I keep it original? And Carlo Santin, my friend, says, no, keep it original. And I'm really glad he said that because I think it looks classier. So I decided to keep it original, and I was also talking about the Floyd Rose. This is a Yamaha licensed Floyd Rose called the RM Pro 2, and it's got some advantages. And this, well, actually, there's no real advantages of this one over Floyd Rose. I would much rather have a real Floyd Rose. But so I did take it off. I was going to pop on another Floyd yesterday in the process of restoring the guitar, and I didn't for several reasons. One, it would fit, no problem. It would fit on the guitar, but in the cavity on the back. What's weird about this bridge is they have a tiny block on this thing. It's like the skinniest block I've ever seen on a guitar or a Floyd style guitar. But it's hard to see here, but the block right there sits much more further up towards the what do you call it, the spring claw than the average Floyd block would. Like when Adams Futone big blocks, they're further back. The big block on a Floyd Rose would normally be right where these string balls are here, right there. So what that means is you're going to have unnecessary or what's what I'm looking for, abnormal spring length. Those springs are going to be stretched to about like that, and that doesn't make sense to me, even though it could be done. So and this is a very, very big if I ever decide to put a real Floyd on this, I think what I would do is I would cut a piece of wood, same height, get so it blends in nice, and I'd block off that much of the guitar, so we'd have that much of a block, and then I put a spring claw there, so we still have normal spring length. I just don't want to stretch those springs like this long, and they're almost at their full elasticity, if that's the right word I'm looking for, before you start doing any whammy bar dive with it. So I would, like I say, block it off, then put a new spring claw right about there. But it just works so good on its own. With this tremolo, I'm going to leave it. And the other kind of downfall of the guitar or the locking system is the nuts that I was telling you about. And yes, I'm on live chat. But the locking nuts are a much larger size. I'll show you in comparison again. There's your typical 3mm, okay, right? Look at this. Try to do this without dropping my guitar. I'll try to show you side by side. Okay, look at the difference. Huge difference. Now, that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. The bad thing is number one, not too many people are going to have one of these. Nobody's going to have one of these kicking around. And when you're at a gig or at your buddy's house or whatever. The good thing is you can get a little bit more torque on them. As you can see, you know what? Oh, sorry, that was a slight exaggeration. That's not the right one. It's still large, though. This is the one here. Okay, almost the same size. Okay, so much, much bigger. Much bigger. And it is very hard. I'll try to put it side by side. Maybe that'll show you better. It's larger. So you get a little bit better torque, but the problem is no one's going to have one of these. So I'm going to have to pick up a few extra of these now. And that might not be even the right size. I think this is probably an Imperial, and that's metric, or vice versa. I know, like on a normal Floyd Rose, it's 3mm. I don't know what this is. I'm going to guess 5, 6, 7 or something like that. It's crazy. But take all those things away from it. That's the only thing I'm going to say it's bad about this guitar. The neck is a complete shred demon. Obviously, if you're thinking the RG series and the Gem series guitars, those guitars weren't made for playing jazz. They're made for playing, to shred. And that's what this thing does. So I did mention about the... No, I didn't actually mention it. So I was using, for the very first time, this was something when I had the guitar on the bench here and I was cleaning it. There's something I was saying I was afraid of trying because I've never used it before. All right, I'm using a lot of the Lizard Spit products to clean the guitar, but this is the Fresh and Easy kind of, it's like a string lube, right? It's got like a bingo dabber on the top. You see it like that? And I've never used this stuff. And I've never been one for string lube. I've used competing products, in the aerosol cans, and you spray it on and wipe it off, and it just felt like I had chicken grease all over the neck of my guitar. If I was like Jocko playing bass, I think that was one of the secrets to his sound and his slinkiness on the neck of the bass. But I don't like that. I don't like yuck on my guitar. Matter of fact, when I'm done eating dinner, I'll go wash my hands profusely before I pick up my guitar. And I used to be so bad that I would actually literally wipe the neck of the guitar down the minute I was done playing it. I'll probably still get back into that a little bit now that I'm playing this one a lot more. It just keeps the strings clean, makes them last a little bit longer. And if you really love your guitar, it's kind of nice to keep it in good condition. So long story short, we did that, and you can see it kind of gives some nice luster on the neck. You can see that. And I'll show you how easy it is. And what I've done, this is what I prefer to do myself. Instead of taking the dabber, so to speak, and running it down the neck of the guitar, what I'll do is I'll take the rag. This is just a microfiber cloth I use. I've got several different colors for different purposes. I'll kind of dab it on the rag like this a little bit, and that puts a little bit of moisture on it. I'll do this. It's actually applying a little bit right now. It's hard probably to see on camera, and it smells really, really good. It smells super good, very nice. And then I'll just kind of buff it off a little bit. I'm trying not to pull on my strings too much because I don't want to detune them or anything. And by the way, too, when I put those D'Addario 9 or NYXLs on here, I didn't even stretch them out, and they're staying in tune great. So there you go. Look at the nice luster on the neck, too. See that? It's not greasy. I mean, you don't feel any grease. That's what I was afraid of. And I'll even take the whatever residues left on the rag, and I'll polish off the back of the neck. Okay, and it just puts just a little bit of slinkiness on there. I was telling Nocturnal Butterfly about it, back in the 80s, that some of you guys and girls might have done what I used to do too, is put a little bit of baby powder on the neck and or on your hands or whatever, And this is not gummy at all. It's not greasy, neither one. So this stuff now, I can't wait to tell Chris at Lizard Spit about this. I was afraid to try this product. The other stuff of his, I love it to death. There we go. We got the Facebook link. Thank you, Nocturnal Butterfly. And I was afraid to try this because I thought, I don't know, man, greasy. It is far from greasy. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a sound, what this guitar sounds like. I'm going to play you a couple songs. And try to keep an eye on the time here as well, too. So I got on a clean patch right now, and this thing is just so beautiful and so versatile with the 5-position 3 humbucker system. That's on the 2nd position. Really cool if I had a dotted eighth note delay, I wouldn't have to pick all that part. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'll take you through all the 5 positions on the clean sound. That's the back humbucker. Split. Okay, middle position. Fourth. That's a nice spot. And of course up to the 5th position in the neck. There's got some bite there, nice and warm. Not too bad. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a sound. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. I'm going to show you a little bit of dirt. China Guitar Skeptic is here. Nice to see you, buddy. We're going to try to do something soon. That's going to be fun. Nice to have you here. Tricknologist sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, so to recap, a couple of people jumping in. This was a restoration project from a guitar. I won this back in 1990 or 1991. I can't remember. I'm very old now, and I can't remember when it was, but it was 1990-ish. And it was a prize, first place in the Guitar Wars. And I kind of discarded it a little bit. It's come back full circle, and now it's, I was saying to Nocturnal, I could put all these guitars in here away, and if I was, punished and said you can only keep one guitar, I think I could honestly feel quite at home with this guitar for the rest of my life. This is really cool. So I'm going to play some music for you, some of my music, and I'm going to let you hear what it sounds like in the context of a song. Using Line 6 Helix for everything you're hearing right now, including the wah pedal. Alright, and the volume pot's getting a little bit better. Not too bad. I still got to put some spray in it. Let me see here. Ease out a little bit. Okay, let's play a fast one. Let's see what we got. And I'll turn off my microphone so we can get less string clack. Alright, let's give this a shot. There we go. That was fun. I think my E's a little bit. I was sounding a little bad there. Not too bad. I could be a hair out of tune. I tuned up before we went live, but we'll get through it. I don't want to bore you by tuning on the air. Not too bad. I'll play another fast one for you. That's a lot of fun. Let's play. Oh, you know what? This will be a fun one. Let's play Loaded Gun. This used to be the theme song to the show. Let's try this one. And we'll get the thank you. I appreciate it, China. Thank you so very much. Okay, let's try this one out. And I should have the clean channel going on this one. Wah pedal, everything. All Helix. I'm all Helix today. Well, actually, I'm all Helix all the time now. right, so there we go. This is fun. This guitar is playing so good. I'm not saying me. The guitar is playing so good. And you know the funny story? Let's back up to the video before, the previous video. You know how this came to be? I had this guitar out on stand, and I was going to show a guest on my Helix Hour show on Sunday, and I didn't get the opportunity to show it. It wasn't that important. It was just kind of a secondary thing I was going to do. And at the end of the show, when putting everything away in the studio here, I was going to put this guitar back on the stand, and for some reason it said, "Play me." I picked it up, rusty strings, corroded, out of tune, but it played good like that. It was amazing. So I thought, no, I'm gonna restore this baby. And over the course of about 2 or 3 days, we're back now with what looks like a brand new guitar. This thing was made like in 1989. Other than a ding, a second ding. There's 2 dings now. A ding here on the body, which is not too bad. It's in pristine shape for its age. I mean, pristine shape. Look at the neck alone. Look at the headstock. Like, look at this thing. And this was played a lot on the road. I got a couple dings up on the top. They're very minor. I just love this thing absolutely to death. Let's play a couple clean ones. How about that? Let's have some fun with that. Let's go back to a clean channel. Yeah, we're still somewhat in tune. It's good. Quick drink here. I really appreciate everybody popping in on a Wednesday afternoon too. Probably some of you are at work. And you may hear some noises, kind of crazy noises out in the. I'm using a condenser microphone, so it's picking up a lot. I've got a construction crew outside putting in new sidewalks and cement and stuff like that. So it may pick up, and that was the cause of losing internet for most of the day the other day. They cut our cable line 3 times, almost went to our 4th time. We got the cable guy here in time, and we ran a wire through the air instead of underground. Okay, so let's try another one here. Let's do a kind of a pretty one. All right. Here it goes.
Have to let go.
Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. That was a fun one, and a lot of dynamics in that. Get to hear the cleanness of this. I love this. This is a nice preset I wrote on here too. It's called Eric Triple, so it's got a nice clean, dirty rhythm, and then of course a nice lead on top of that too. Some Van Halen kind of styles on it. See if we can pop on the Van Halen. That's not it. That's the Laza. I gotta practice that one. But anyways, yeah, there's your Van Halen tone. Cool. I turned my mic off. Didn't mean to do that. Let's jump back over to the chat. We're going to wrap up here soon. 2:40. We're doing pretty good. Thank you for the link there, too, for China Guitar Skeptic. I appreciate that, Nocturnal Butterfly. Rally Shred sounds great the way it is. Thank you, Bobby Lopez. Yeah, I hope they don't knock out the internet again. They can't now, unless they knock down a tree. Let me see here. A quarter of the way into the street, I'm wondering where our gas lines are. Yeah, I hope they mark those things. They certainly didn't mark the cable. They hit that gas line and goodbye. So thank you. Nice to listen to you and watch. I appreciate that. I wish I could pronounce your name. I can't, but I'll just say thank you. Randall Fisher, there goes. He's on fire and feeling it. Thank you. Rezakon. Peter Stoops. That D-tune effect you got there sounds fantastic. Thank you. That's a typical Eddie Van Halen pitch tune where it's a big difference too. Watch it. If I turn that off, let's go back to my stomp mode. So here's without the pitch. Put on the pitch. It just comes alive. It's about 9 cents flat left-hand side and 9 cents sharp on the right-hand side, or vice versa. I usually, yeah, something like that. But whatever it is on the one side, it's the opposite on the other. Black Vulture, when's a new Rock and Dead show? Soon. I apologize, I'm late on that. It's a little harder booking the guests for that show because these guests are just booked everywhere for those, you know, the horror conventions and all that kind of stuff. I've got 2 pretty cool guests that I'm just waiting. Whoever gets back to me first gets the first spot. So I hope to be back very, very soon. A brand new show, and it's a little slow taking off, but like even with my EVH show here too, it took a while before it to gain some legs and get some people watching and getting guests and stuff like that too. That's the hardest part, is booking. Reza says, I have a few of those late 80s and early 90s made in Japan Yamaha guitars. I keep them all stock. Yeah, they all play and sound awesome. They are amazing, aren't they? The Pacifica line was just absolutely to die for. Like, this was a 921. There's a 1200 series. I've never owned any of the other ones. Matter of fact, this is probably maybe one of two Yamaha guitars I've ever owned. I'm going to be playing this one a lot. It just, as you can see when I was playing, I'm not saying anything about my playing. I'm just saying how it was playing on the guitar. It feels nice. It's very inviting. And I'm talking like low freaking action. Try to show you my neck. You probably can't see this. It's hard to get that. You can't show action on a webcam, but it's like almost to the point of buzz zone. If I keep my volume off, it sounds like it's buzzing, but it's not. It's low. I'm going to try one more song. I'm going to try a clean one. Well, I shouldn't say it's clean. It has some clean in it. But it's nice. I've actually got the 3 channels working here through Helix today. Let's try this one here. I wish I could drop this down to D, but I can't. Okay, we're going to try a couple. Let's try this. We'll have some fun, okay? This one's called Fly. I'll play... How are we doing on time? I do want to wrap up by 3 because I got to get ready to pick up Junior at school. So as long as we wrap up closely after 3, we should be good. So I'll give this a try.
just feel you breathing. Come on, drives me crazy. I've laid a bed with many, but never one to marry. This inside is scary, so let's begin this journey.
Okay, there's a question. Relay has a question. I'll look there in a second. So let's scroll down probably to the very bottom and I'll come back. So where was that? Relay asked a question. Riley. Okay, Riley. Sorry. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. Sounds great, by the way. Just trying to find the question. I'm so sorry. Where was the question? I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. I'm the worst for this. You know that. What amp are you using? Okay. Thank you. I got it. What amp are you using? The 6L6? No, believe it or not, I'm using all Line 6 Helix. No amplifiers whatsoever. Now, what I'm using inside Helix, what you're hearing right now, that's a Roland Jazz Chorus, or they call it the Jazz Rivet, I think. I've always liked that amp for clean. And then for the dirty, I'm using a Placator, which is kind of, I think it's based off the BE 100. Yeah, I'm getting some nice notes sent to me. It's just kind of funny. Nocturnal Butterfly, the producer. So yeah, so that's the answer to your question there. Todd Graff, that's a sweet Yamaha. Thank you. This is guitar you're not going to see leave my hands for a long time. A lot of history with this guitar, and it's come back into my life in a special way. Oops, that was a horrible chord. I don't even know what the hell that was. Oh, and you know what? Yeah, that's Black Vulture just said something. You know, I don't want to go down on a sad note, but it can't help but not mention this. He says, "Rest in peace, Ollie Herbert, from All That Remains." And I know I heard that in the news today. Detroit radio, the station I listen to all the time, and immediately I thought of well, obviously his family, but I thought of my good friend Adam Reaver. A lot of you know Adam from Futone, F-U-Tone, and oh, okay, so there is another question as well too, and I thought of him first because they're very good friends. Okay, so let's go back. I'll say, Raleigh says, using wet, dry. Okay, there you go. You're using wet, dry, wet rig. Nope, strictly all 100% wet rig today. So what you're hearing is processed left and right and somewhat center. So full wet today. I hope that's a question. Let me see. I'll say, did I get it? It's a good thing I have a producer to keep me in line, right? I think I got the question. And Randall Fisher said, just joking, good to see you up and running again. Great playing. Thank you. I don't even know what the joke was, so it's okay. I don't take any offense to it. It's all good. So Reza, I'd love to see some of your Yamahas. If you're still here sometime, contact me on Facebook. Show me some of your Yamahas. I'd love to have a kind of a little bit of a show and tell of some of these guitars and just learn more about them. Randall Fisher says, Helix, I would bet. Yep, you got it. Let me see if I miss anything else. I'll play another one for you. This is a nice one. This was written for my mom. Two very important ladies in my life. Nocturnal Butterfly here, and my mom, whose name is Shirley. She's still with me in spirit. This was written for her, and it's a very emotional song to play. Lots of fun. It's got some kind of little melodic guitar solos. Nothing fancy, just... It's a fun song to play. Let me try and play it for you. And if it wasn't for my mom, I would be playing. She's one of those ladies that did everything to make sure I played. My dad would pay me to stop playing, and I'd be in my bedroom making the most horrendous guitar noises with slide. I still can't play slide, just sliding with distortion. And my dad would be like just cringing, and my mom would be washing dishes and just drawing the dishes like it was a musical lullaby or a music box with horrendous noises. She's just like, I know one day he'll learn to play like that Chet Atkins and it'll all get better. I never did. Wish I did. But yeah, this is for you, Shirley. Let's have some fun with this one.
Okay, are you ready yet?
Really shred, yes, you can use it as a 2 preamp.
Show
that'll teach me to try to read the chat and do a guitar solo. That's not gonna happen again. That was hilarious, but it's my own song, so I'm allowed to make mistakes. My own song. That was funny. So yeah, so I answered the question. Hopefully he caught that. So you can use the Helix as a tube preamp. Yes, you can run it in so many different ways. You can run the Helix directly to the front of house, and then use a monitor for yourself. Use in-ears if you want, or headphones. You can run it for a cable method, meaning you can send effects to your tube amp through the effects loop, like your reverbs, delays, things like that you would normally run to the effects loop, and then run other things to the front of the amplifier. Distortions if you need them, phases, flanges, modulations, choruses, pitch change, anything you can think of to possibly to the front of the amp. So there's so many configuration things. You can use it with however you want to use the Helix. You can implement it into your rig. So yeah, a couple of people sharing some interest in that. That's very, very cool. And yeah, and Randall Fisher, you might be good to start with the Stomp. $600, $599 US dollars, and it's limited to 6 blocks. So have an amp block, or maybe a reverb block, one of your favorite effects. We'll throw in a Van Halen, we'll throw in a phaser, a delay, and something else. So you got 6 blocks. Oh, that's 5. I learned to count here, Eric, and one more. So you see where your limitations are with Stomp. You're just slightly more limited to what you can do with Helix, but it's a good way to get into it without spending $1,500, excuse me, or more than that after that too. That you could, if you want to go a little higher, you can go to the Helix LT, which is kind of like the floor version without what they call the scribble strips, and then you get into what I'm using. I have Helix. I'm using Helix Rack. Let me just go back to the screen so you can see it. See it back there. There we go. It's up. That's Helix Rack, and then I've got a controller down here called Helix Control that I'm using to control that, and then I've got Helix Floor on the other side as well too. Floor is just a little bit wider, and it was taking up a little bit too much desk space underneath here, and because I work out of this office as well too, and I just didn't want to be cramped when I'm working, so I moved the Helix Floor off to the side, and that's usually what Junior plays here. Yeah, and I can help you out with some presets. There's some great presets on the internet as well too for custom tone. You can go by ratings and download all those. I probably have enough time to sneak in 1 or 2 more songs. Let's see what else can I do that would be fun. Because it's getting cold here in southwestern Ontario, it would be nice to be out in the sun, so I'm going to play a song called In the Sun. I think we're going to want to have a dirty patch for that one. Okay, that'll work. I think that works. Here it goes. There's an overdub there in the end of that tune. I was going to do it, but I always mess it up, and I really like it too. It's kind of Van Halen Pound Cake inspired. How's it go? Let's see if I can find it. Oh. Yes, one guitar's going. Another one. Damn it. Darn it. Yeah, so there we go. And you know, really cheesy, silly solos, but the band wasn't really in like showing off as far as guitar solos. They were pretty simple, just like. Kind of neat. Let me see here. So people are really commenting on the Helix guitar sounds. Thank you. And Black Vulture says, I keep picking Eric's brains. Poor guy. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for, man. For sure. And Ian Carman says sounding and looking good. I appreciate that. Randall says line 6 set the bar for guitar modeling with this line. They really did. I'm very happy to play this for forever. Very, very cool. Okay, so 303. Let's do one last one, and we're going to rock it up. We might do a repeat here. I would play Freaking Out, but I'm not in drop D. Maybe we can try it. No, we're not gonna play Freaking Out because I usually do it in drop D, and I might screw it up too quickly. So let's play a fast one again, and we're gonna get out of here. Got time to go get the boy at school. Okay, by the way here. Okay, we're going to play Fall Silent one more time. Here it goes. Thanks so much, everybody. This has been a blast. Okay, guys, that is it. We're going to wrap up. We'll see you very, very soon. Thank you for joining in, and we'll catch you next time right here on EVH and Gear TV. Thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here, and we'll look forward to seeing you this Friday night, actually. Jake Miller from the Van Halen Tribute Band is here. Fantastic. Completely Unchained, I think they're called. We're going to have a lot of Eddie Van Halen discussion. A lot of fun. We'll look forward to seeing you Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific, and then we'll have a good afternoon, everyone. We'll see you real soon. Cheers.
Hey, you're still here? Eric Jr. here, reminding you to check out our full lineup of quality merch. Available right now in the Broadstash Boutique. Quality products and fast shipping. Visit broadstash.com today.
I am now on Patreon. If you enjoy my content and wish to support my channel and what I do, then please check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/EVH Gear TV. Your support assures the continued growth of this channel and a fun community in which to share our love for Van Halen, music gear, and much more.
My name is Eric and I play Wolverine guitar.
Video production services provided by Design 39 Media. Visit design39media.com for all your website, photography, and video production needs. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones, and official Van Halen merchandise is provided by vanhalenstore.com.